pro tip. You probably use AI to summarize your own notes or other bits of this workshop. Just don't share the workshop materials themselves, please, obviously, because this is obviously paid information. This is my own process that I'm teaching you. So if you use it with ChatGPT, tell ChatGPT, go to the setting wherever it is and tell it to like not use your inputs to train their model. That way, it isn't like sharing it. It probably, you know how AI, it's probably still using it, but like if you do that, it's just for I don't know, I don't know, mindfulness. Either way, if anyone has any questions, I know a few people had to drop off, but if anyone has any questions, there's a Q&A feature. You can drop them in there. Or since, yeah, if you want to, you can drop them in there. We have basically like 5 minutes left before I think before this is supposed to end. So yeah, does anyone have any questions? I mean, if nobody submits any in the next, minute or so, then I mean, we can wrap it up and I'll get to work on getting the recording to you guys and everything else to you guys. So go ahead and if you have any, go ahead and submit them. I'm going to take a drink of water. See you, Chris. I'm going to take a quick drink of water because my mouth is dry from all this talking. Yeah, I don't see any rolling in. I don't know if there's like a lag or anything. Can I do this in Claude too? Let me answer that live. So, yes, I would. Zoom. Okay, it got rid of the question, but let me answer it. You probably can. I personally use ChatGPT just because it's what I'm used to. But I think I wrote an email about this when I was promoting this workshop. Claude, like every AI tool, probably has it probably works better for different things. I'm not like a tech person. I don't know like all the super in-depth stuff about the AI, like what behind the scenes, like the code and LLM, like machine learning and AI, like I don't know all that stuff. All I know is that the tools probably all are better and worse at different things. So Claude, you could probably use this with Claude too. Now, again, I don't know what the exact outputs would look like, but the point of this whole workshop is that it's not just about like, it is a process. So you may have to modify the prompts a little bit, or like it might give you output that you didn't see in the exact same way in this workshop. But as long as you kind of follow along this general process of like setting the scope, giving the brand and product information, the voice, any other information, and then kind of working back and forth with Claude or ChatGPT, or I think Perplexity is another one, or Grok. Well, I don't know if people use Grok because it's like Twitter's native one. You're not going to be working in that for this probably, but any of these AI tools, as long as you know how to kind of like work with it, like an automatic or like an artificial intelligence assistant almost, it'll probably work the same. But I just stick to ChatGPT because it's what I know best. There's a risk of shiny object syndrome when it comes to like, okay, is this one better? Is that one better? Claude, it probably works in Claude, is what I'm saying. But yeah, it works in Claude. It's just the process and whatnot, and just knowing how to respond to ChatGPT's outputs. Like I said, we are the human brain at the end of the day, so it's on us to look at what ChatGPT or Claude or whatever tells us and basically respond to that and work back and forth to generate the emails or anything else. So yeah, a bit of a long-winded answer, but I hope that answered your question. And anyone else? We'll give it 2 more minutes in case any questions pop up, and then at that point it'll be 2:30 Eastern, and then we'll wrap up and call it a day, and I'll get everything sent over. But yeah. Or actually, I'll give it like 30 more seconds so we don't sit here with dead air. But I don't think there's anything else you guys should know before we end the workshop. I guess one other thing, one little bonus tip here is ChatGPT has a thing called projects where you can organize a bunch of chats under one project. I do that to organize like my clients. Each client is a project. It's nice, but if you thought about using custom GPT bots or whatever, GPT bots, for some reason, unless they fix it, you can't move GPT bot chats into projects. So some people might have thought about, oh, just use a bot instead of using my process. You can do that. I mean, I just like to use my process because it's, you work back and forth, but you probably won't be able to use a bot in those projects. So I usually will just start separate chats for brainstorming email angles, for writing flows, for writing broadcasts, for planning offers. I have one that's like miscellaneous deliverables where it's like, hey, we need to come up with I don't know, a new name for this thing or whatever, or we need to come with some ideas for XYZ. It's just like miscellaneous stuff. But the projects feature can be helpful for that. But either way, it doesn't look like anyone else has any questions. So I think we're going to wrap up here then. It is 2:30 Eastern now. So thank you all for being here. I'm going to, as soon as I hit end on this and we close the workshop, I'm going to scramble to put everything together in a nice format in a G drive to give to you guys. And yeah, I hope you've learned some valuable stuff here, because this is my process. I use it for clients every day. Today or tomorrow, unless I take the rest of the day off, I'm going to go and use this for other clients. So I mean, today or tomorrow, I'm going to go use it. So what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys can take something to, if you're a copywriter or marketer, you can take some of this right now and go to your clients and start using it, or even for yourself. I've started using this for myself a little bit to try to workshop emails, LinkedIn posts, blog posts, stuff like that. And if you're a brand owner, you can use this to kind of, because you're probably doing a million things. You can use this to write emails a little more easily, a little faster, so you can write to your list a little more, or at least you know how to vet a copywriter who is using AI, and you know what you make sure that they're using it correctly. So with that said, we're going to wrap up the workshop. Thank you all for being here. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. One more question. How can I manage 14 brands with this? What do you recommend I do? Oh, so 14 brands. That's a lot of brands, but I would just have a separate chat for each of them. And oh yeah, one other thing I forgot to mention. Once the chat starts getting too long and really, really slow, eventually we'll run out of room and ChatGPT will say you're out of tokens or whatever it is. You can just start a new chat and just do the same few prompts over and over again. You might have to retrain it a little bit on the products, but again, this is a very quick and dirty, simple kind of method to get up and running, writing emails really fast. So if you have 14 brands, you would just have 14 chats, and you would want to make sure it's not, just each one, make sure you start it by saying don't use the memory feature, because like you, I'm a copywriter. I have multiple brands. I already forgot to use the don't use the memory feature prompt, and it hasn't really been a problem. But if you have 14 brands, I'm gonna click answer live there. If you have 14 brands, yeah, you just have a separate chat for each one, and you could have a separate project for each one too if you have 14 clients like that, and that would actually help organize things, because then you could have multiple chats for each client in each project folder. So if there are no other questions, then I hope you all can go and use this process and these prompts and everything to start making money for your clients, or if you are the client, making money for yourself. So yeah, with that said, I am going to click end on this. Thank you all.